Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to my next Pokemon Sets upload. Today's upload is another Sets video in response to the most recent battle video I posted on my channel, and as you can see from the picture, obviously this video is going to be all about Gabite, and a couple of sets, including the one that you did see, that I do like to run with it. So let's get started like we always do by taking a look at this Pokemon's typing, abilities, and stats. So first off, as you all probably know already, Gabite is a Dragon Ground Pokemon introduced into Generation 4, and it is the pre-evolved form of Garchomp, but the evolved form of Gible, putting it right in the middle of the evolution chain. But for the abilities, the first one that it gets is known as Sand Veil, which is an ability that increases your evasion when there is a sandstorm on the field. Now there isn't really a way to induce permanent sand in NU, so you're not going to be really wanting to go with this ability very often, especially since that its Rough Skin ability, which is its Dream World ability, is far superior in my opinion, just because it allows you to get some extra damage on your opponent every time they attack you with a contact move. But for the stats, even though this Pokemon is not fully evolved, it actually has some pretty good stats to make use of. So it does have base 68 HP with base 65 defense and base 55 special defense, which might not seem a lot like a lot from a defensive standpoint, but being as this Pokemon is not fully evolved, you can actually run a Violite on this Pokemon to boost its defenses by 1.5 if you do want to run a more defensive set on Gabite. But for its attacking stats, Gabite actually has a really nice base 90 physical attack and a really nice base 82 speed, meaning that it actually is pretty fast and powerful. Unfortunately though, its special attack is not very usable, especially with the physical attack being far superior, so more often than not, if you do want to run an attacking set on Gabite, it will be from the physical side. But with that, let's take a look at the first set that I have for you in this video, which is a more defensive one. So first off for the set, we're going to start by either giving Gabite an Impish or a Careful nature. The Impish nature would increase your physical defense but lower your special attack, whereas the Careful nature will increase your special defense but lower your special attack. Either one works just to make this Pokemon a little bit more bulky. But for the ability, we are going to be going with the Rough Skin ability as a way to get added damage whenever our opponents hit us with a contact move. And for the EVs on this set, we're going to start by putting 252 EVs into our HP to max that, 252 EVs into our defense, and then 4 EVs into our special defense to make us a max physically defensive Gabite, especially if you do choose to go with the Impish nature. And this works extremely well for this Pokemon due to the fact that, as I said before, most contact moves are physical, so Rough Skin is going to be very useful when wanting to get a little bit of extra damage on physical attackers that may be coming in to do damage to your Gabite. But as another way of increasing your defense on this set, we are going to be going with the Violite item to increase our physical and special defense as if it were increased by one stage, which is really good because, as I said before, this Pokemon does not have fantastic defenses, but with the Violite item, they become very good, especially from the physical side, which means that Gabite is definitely able to take physical hits pretty well from pretty much any Pokemon in the tier, barring it's like a super effective hit or something like that. But for the moves on the set, the first one that we're going to go with is Earthquake as a way to have a really nice 100 base power ground type stab for this set. It's going to obviously be doing a lot of damage to anything that does not resist it, which is really good. And we're also going to be using Roar on this set to work in combination as well with Rest and Sleep Talk. If you are familiar with the Druddigon set I've been using recently, or actually a while ago on one of my RU teams, this is very similar to that. Gabite unfortunately does not get Dragon Tail for some reason, but you can still use Roar on it as a way of phasing your opponent, which, as I said before, works very well with Rest Sleep Talk because obviously if you Sleep Talk Roar, you don't have to deal with the negative priority that normally comes with it. And also you can make use of Rest to recover up your HP since we aren't using leftovers on this set, and Gabite does not have another form of recovery, which will then allow you to keep taking physical hits for the entirety of the battle as long as Gabite stays alive. As for this next set, this is the one that you all are a little bit more familiar with because it's the one I used in my most recent battle video, so I figured I would take the time here to talk a little bit more about it. So we're going to start off with this set by giving Gabite a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack, and then we're going to be going with the Rough Skin ability yet again. As for the EVs, we're going to put 252 into our physical attack, 4 for our defense, and then 252 EVs into our speed to give us our max physical attack and max speed possible. And for the item on the set, we are going to be going with a Slackberry as a way to increase our speed by one stage when we're hit below 25% of our health. Now, it is important to note that with its base 82 speed, Gabite will not be able to outspeed a Scarfed Sawk, which is possibly one of the most commonly seen and scarfed Pokemon in the NU tier, which is a little frustrating. However, the other commonly scarfed Pokemon that I'm used to seeing, which are Scarfed Gardevoir and Scarfed Braviary, do only have a base 80 speed, so Gabite will be able to outspeed them after the Slackberry activates. But for the moves on the set, the first one that we're going to be going with is Hone Claws as a way to increase our physical attack and our accuracy by one stage. And the reason why increasing our accuracy is very important is because it allows us to make use of one of the most underused dragon moves in this game, which is known as Dragon Rush. And it is a 100 base power dragon type move with a 75% accuracy and also a 20% chance to flinch. Now the reason that it's usually not used is because of the accuracy problem and also because Outrage is stronger. However, if we are able to use Dragon Rush successfully now that we have a accuracy boost from Hone Claws, it actually becomes possibly one of the most useful moves in the game for a dragon type Pokemon to run, because you don't get locked into Outrage like you would if you used Outrage, and it's also more powerful than Dragon Claw or Dual Chop. So that's why Dragon Rush is really cool, and that's why it's really great that Gabite is able to run it with the Hone Claws move to increase its accuracy and its physical attack to allow it to hit more often and do more damage. Also, we're going to be again going with Earthquake on the set, so we get a really nice physical attack from both our dragon and ground type stabs. And for the last move on the set, we are going to be going with Endure as a way to potentially allow us to activate the Slackberry when we get hit below 25% of our health, because obviously Endure always makes it so that you can live with 1 HP if you use it successfully. So overall, this set is just a lot of fun to run with Gabite, and I really enjoy using the set on this Pokemon just because you don't really see Gabite too often in NU, and it's really cool that you can make use of it and turn it into a pretty powerful physical attacker if you're able to set up with it, and it's very easy to do that with this Pokemon. But anyways, that is it for this video. If you haven't seen the battle where I use this, go check that out now. I'll probably leave this as a video response to that battle just to make it a little bit easier to find. But anyways, that is it for this video, everyone. So as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.